Hello everyone, this is my final project for my Introduction to Game Programming course. For this assignment we're supposed to combine a couple of different aspects of our choice from the previous projects and use them in one game. For this game I decided to create another 2D platformer that uses each of the different components. So, the first item on the rubric that I decided to include was get key and get key down. So those are both in my player movement scripts. So whenever you start the game up, you can use the spacebar to jump or the left and right A or D keys to move the player. The next item is the sprite import and public variables. So obviously every game object, or most game objects in the scene have a sprite over the top of them, and the public variables. So if I go over to my level 1 scene, you can see the player has a couple of different variables that you can adjust in the inspector for speed as well as health. The next item is set game object active. That is in the canvas up at the top of the screen in the first level. So as you can see up at the top, there are a couple of coins that aren't highlighted. If I collect a coin, the script will set them active as I collect them. So if I go ahead and run through and collect a couple of coins, it'll set each one of those active as I run into them. The next item is the game manager controller. So that basically includes a couple of different items. That's the coin counter as well as the music, the ambient music in the game. The random.range, that is on my second level. So for this level, there are different random spikes spawning at the top of the screen that fall down, and you have to ascend to the top of the level to beat it. So each one of those spikes with this falling spike scripts, you can see it has a random.range location at a public variable that you can set in the inspector. So on the spike generator item here, you can see you can change the locations at which the spikes will spawn at. And the next item is the instantiate, which is also on the same script. So that's what creates the different spikes as they spawn in. So right here. The next item is destroy. So again, in the same level, the boundary destroy script, it basically makes this box collider here destroy whatever spikes hit it, so there's not an endless stream of spikes building up in the hierarchy. The on trigger enter 2D, that is also in the same script, the boundary destroy script. So whenever a object that isn't the player collides with that hitbox, it will destroy it basically. The next item are all the different canvas items, so screen space, canvas, text, item, image, and button. Sorry, I just got away from a cold recently and my voice is still a little rough. So all the canvas items, those are in all of my menu screen or menu scenes. So my start screen, victory screen, and game over screen. So the victory screen here has a couple of different buttons as well as a couple of images. Let's see if I can zoom out. So as you can see, the images are down over here on the right. They have the congratulations text and a couple of buttons to go back to the main menu or quit the game. And if you click it, it'll bring you back to the initial start menu screen. You can start back at level 1. The next items is the vector3.angle. So for this item, I didn't actually include it because once I got to that point, I had pretty much a full game, and I was pretty happy with what it turned out as, and I didn't feel like it had a place in the current game, so I just left it out. Maybe I could find something to incorporate, but I was pretty happy with how it turned out, so I just decided to cut it. The music, obviously each level has music playing as a just ambient background. You can kind of hear it here. And in level 3, so yeah, each level has background music playing. The let's see, next item is the animation. So obviously the player character is animated when you're running left or right, or when you jump. There's also an idle animation. He just sort of bobs up and down. The next item is multiple scenes. So obviously the level 1, 2, 3, and my start, victory, and game over screens each are their own individual scene in the game. The next item is player affected by gravity, and the start, fail, and victory screen. So obviously the rigid body has a gravity, the rigid body component has a gravity aspect to it. So whenever the player jumps, he'll fall back down towards the bottom of the screen. And the start screen, victory screen, and then the game over screen here. I guess I can show that as well, the game over screen. So once you die or fall off 3 times or get hit 3 times, you'll go to that game over screen and you can hit play again, and it'll restart you back at level 1. Bug free and error free. So I did run into one error as I was building the game, but I eventually figured that out by re-importing all of my different assets, and that solved the issue. I think it was related to TextMesh Pro, that package. But other than that, there's no errors in out throughout the game. Comments. Again, all of my scripts are fairly well commented. Basically telling what each script does. Project organization. So all of my different assets are filed out in their own different categories. So all my audio files, the asset packages I downloaded, prefabs that I made for between levels, all my scenes, and all the scripts that I use. And in each level, the hierarchy is fairly clean. Just a couple of different, the player, camera, game controller, a couple of different game objects that are present in the game. And that's about it. Thank you for watching.